past, when I went back to it, I'm like, oh, this thing I'm achieving it, this thing I'm achieving, and it's really beautiful. All right. So the second one is mindset. The mindset. The second part, sorry, not the mindset. Yes, it is. I wanted to say something first, so that's why I said I'm so sorry. Okay, the second one is the engine as part of your vehicle. The engine is part of your vehicle. And what is the engine to an individual? Your engine is your mindset. It is the mindset you work with. Now, for example, take this. You finally get into the vehicle. All right, you get to know the vision you're running with, you get into your vehicle, but when you try to start it, nothing happens. Of course, the engine is dead. Now, this is what happens when you have a negative mindset. The car may look good on the outside, good opportunities, good talents, but inside it is not working. Now, mindset is the engine of your vehicle. If you don't believe in yourself, for example, that's a mindset. If you don't believe in yourself and God's plan for you and your ability to grow, you won't move forward. Speaking about mindset, it is important that you have or stay at a level of a growth mindset. That's the best place to be. There are two kinds of mindset: the fixed mindset, the growth mindset. But I'll urge you to stay on the growth mindset, because a growth mindset says, I may not know how to get there, but I can learn. All right. So the we go over. Are we following? Please, if I am too fast, can we let me know? Thank you so much. If I'm too fast, can we let me know? Okay, thank you so much. So we proceed over to the next one, which is the next part of the vehicle, the wheels. The wheels is the next part of the vehicle. Now, what is your wheel? The wheel is your skills. The wheel is the skills that you have. Let's say your car engine now begins to work. Your tires are flat. No matter how powerful the engine is, the vehicle is never going to move. True or false? Very true. Your car engine begins to work and your tires becomes flat all of a sudden. Now, no matter how powerful the engine is, the vehicle would never move from that position. Your skills are the wheels that carry you forward. Now, if you have a dream to be a doctor, a lawyer, a writer, an entrepreneur, you need to learn to practice and sharpen your craft perfectly well, that when you come out, people are not just like, oh, he's so gifted. People are like, oh, he has a beautiful skill. Now, I was listening today to a podcast of a mentor I admire so much. His name is Olakunle Sorinya PK. We call him PK. All right. So Olakunle Sorinya. Sorinya is Soriyyan. PK. That is I know what do they call it? Guy's name. So he was saying something, and he said that it was an interview with Gaze Baba. He said that most people have gifts, and because they have gifts, they feel like, oh, I know how to play football just because I can do some stunts, and I'll just remain there, I'll just relax there. Now, it's not wise. When you have a skill, it is important, sorry, when you have a gift, it is important to develop it into a skill. Now, if you say that you can play football because you can do some stunts, I mean some moves, when you are put in a football field, for example, a stadium to play football, and you have like six strikers and some other people, you will lose out. That's the truth. Now, this is because you were dwelling on your gifts, and those people who are on the field with you, they have become masters of that gift into skills. So why I'm giving this example is for you to understand that it's not enough to have a skill, which is the will for you. Develop your skill. And so I'll say this: a skill becomes a finished product from consistent practice and involvement. A skill becomes a finished product from consistent practice and evolvement. Why I said evolvement is years ago, there was no iPhone. We had Nokia. We had, I think, at some point, BlackBerry came and it felt like it was the current thing on board. But now we have iPhone down to, I think, 16. All right. So evolvement takes place when it comes to skills. When you're developing your skills, there are new, and better things that you can learn to sharpen it. I'm not going to say what they are, but the more you invest in skill building, the smoother your journey becomes. Know that it is wise to learn from other people. There are people who could be doing what you want to do, but you need to learn from them. Learn from them as much as you can in possible ways, right? The fourth thing is, please, are we following? I feel like I have been talking to myself all this while. Thank you so much. All right, so the fourth thing, now we've talked about vision, we've talked about mindset, we've talked about skills. The next thing is the fuel. Fuel. What's in Nigeria we say fuel, but it's not fuel, so it's fuel. The fuel. The fuel is your community, the community you have around you. Now your car is ready, your tires are fine, but without fuel, you will stop halfway. Your field is the people around you. I'm going to say what I said earlier again. Your car is ready, your tires are fine, but without fuel, you are going to stop halfway. Your fuel is the people that you have around you, the mentors who guide you, the friends who hold you accountable, the community that cheers you on. They are your fuel. They are your biggest motivators. And so it is important the kind of people you have around you. Bad company is like dirty fuel. It clogs your engine and leaves you stranded. So if you have dirty fuel in your car, in your vehicle, you get stranded on the way because it's not going to move so far. All right. So choose carefully also who you let ride with you. Find a mentor, find a tribe, find people who see the same destination you see. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted. All right. So I said, choose carefully who you let ride with you. Find a mentor, find a tribe, find people who see the same destination that you see. You can learn from people on other paths, but be careful who you learn from. Be very careful also not to slip from your path to join other people on their path. Now, I go from the top. I said vision. I said a vision which is your compass as part of your vehicle. I said your mindset, which is your. Please, who can remind me? Someone who was following. What did I say mindset was?
The mindset is the engine.
The engine. Thank you so much. Then I said the third thing I said your skills. Who can remind me what skills were was? All right, thank you so much. Then I said the community, your community that is your fuel. All right. So the one part I did not talk about, and I'm going to talk about, and that's the last one for this meeting, is thank you so much, Praise Brain. Please, all of these notes. Okay, maybe I'll share my note later, but we can keep all of these things. We'll put it on text on the chat box. All right, thank you so much. Now, the one part I did not mention, and it's not a part of the vehicle. All of these parts I said, the wheels, the The compass, they make up the vehicle, but something that doesn't make up the vehicle but steers the vehicle is the autoist. The autoist. Now you can go search in Google. I'm going to spell Autoist. Autoist. Who is an autoist? I need someone to quickly do that for me. Tell me, 2 minutes. Who is an autoist? I know everyone is going on Google to check it, so I do not have a dictionary people here. Oh God, it's okay. So who's quickly going to tell me who's an autoist? Please, let's start reading dictionaries every day. It's something I really do a lot, so I can't be lost on English terms. An autoist, I am waiting. Autoist. That's how I spelled it. Wow. Okay, I'll forgive everyone on this platform. All right, so should I go on or someone wants to quickly say it?
Okay, ma. So an auto is the driver. The driver.
You see, as simple as that word is, you could get you will know that's what it means. But an autoist is, yes. Thank you so much. Oh no, Pori, for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that explanation. Yes, an autoist is the person who drives the vehicle, and also is the driver of the vehicle. Now we mentioned all of the parts of the vehicle, but we did not talk about the driver. So I'm going to talk about the driver real quick. All right. So the autoist is you. Now you have a major role to play as you drive in that vehicle. As the autoist, number one, as the autoist, you will find yourself in situations where you have to learn at once. I mean, you got to learn so many things in a space of in a very short time. You're like, oh, I'm learning this, I'm learning this, I'm learning this. There is going to be a time like that where you're going to rush things to learn as the autoist. Now, why do I say this? It's because if any of us here knows how to drive, okay, thank you so much, thank you so much. So if any of us knows how to drive, you find out that, or if you don't know how to drive, think about people who know how to drive. When they want to drive, before they drive, they go to a driving school to learn how to drive. And it's so beautiful that when you are driving, the steering, the brakes, the wheel, you get to control it at the same time. So your brain is working to control all of those parts at the same time. So you, as an individual, will find yourself in situations where you get to learn some things quickly. Now, I got to a point where I was like, God, so do you think I have the capacity to do certain things? And it's like, oh, yes, you do, because you have learned some things really fast. And so, as an autoist, know it at the back of your mind that you will learn certain things really quick. All right. So the next one is, as an autoist, you need landmarks. You're driving the vehicle of your life, you need landmarks. Now yesterday, I no 2 days ago, I went out to my grandma, and we were like, oh, let's stroll. We recently moved to Lagos, and she came here to do something also. So I was like, okay. She was like, let's walk out. So we went out to just feel the environment. As we were going, I noticed something she did beautifully well. She turned to a particular point and she was like, okay, this is the place we are passing now. And I'm like, yes, okay. Then I'm like, oh, this looks like where we are coming from. Now we got to a particular junction and we were going to come back down to the house. So as we are coming back, she started telling me that you need to pay attention to landmarks. I mean, when I say landmarks, it's points you pass if you go to a new environment. Now, why I'm giving this example is you need to pay attention to landmarks. If you are going to drive the vehicle of your life, if you're driving on the road, or you're in a vehicle and you're going to a new place, of course you see new things, you see beautiful places, and you're like, oh, I passed this place. If you're coming back, it is easy for you to know the name of this place, or to know this environment, because you took note of the landmarks there. Now, when you build your landmarks, you can teach people and give them a template to walk on. Now, why I said this is, if you are going to get on the vehicle of your life as an autoist, while you drive on the road, people could stop you and say, oh, I want to go back to this point, I want to go back to where you're coming from, how do I get there, I want to go back to do something there, where, how can you describe it for me? Now you're going through your journey, and you can't even tell someone, oh, you're going to pass this road and pass this road and pass road XYZ to get to that point. You can't tell them. Why? Because you failed to know your landmarks. So landmarks is really important. Landmark is a better way to master your process, because if someone stops you to direct them back, ask yourself, can you? If you get to a point where you're like, oh, I've graduated, you graduated with first class, can you tell a younger generation that would ask you, oh, what's the process to get first class? Can you tell that person you can do this XYZ to get first class? Master, know your landmarks, because they will help you to master your process as an authorist. You can tell a younger person, okay, yes, how to get on the vehicle of your life. If you say you've been able to deal with procrastination, can you tell someone, this is how I dealt with procrastination? Do not pretend like you do not pretend if you are not able to, sorry, I'm getting really distracted, that's why this whole thing is happening to me. Sorry, okay, let me get back. So do not pretend that you know your landmark when you do not know it. If you do not know your landmarks, if you don't know what has gotten to the point where you are, because trust me, a younger generation would ask you for it. Go back, think of it, and redo it. Landmark teaches you to be very observant. To be very observant, because there'll be people who will be misdirected, and you have to redirect them on their path. All right, so the final one is, as an authorist, you learn from other people's experiences. You don't need to experience it to learn. You can learn from other people's experiences. As an authorist, you will find yourself in all good things of life, but it is your choice to pick what will keep you in line. I think that's the last one. Sorry, the first one was not the last one. As I learn from other people's experiences, because you do not need to experience it to learn it. I said the last one is, as an authorist, you will find all the good things in life, the pleasures of life, as you drive on your vehicle, but you need to stay in line and mind what you choose, mind what you pick. All right. So the pleasures of life could be loss, it could be anger, it could be distraction, so many things, but you need to stay focused on what you want to get you to your destination. Now, I was recently following up what was going on with the recent case of Charlie Kirk, all right, his mother. And I was listening to the news, and I got to find out that the guy who killed him is 22 years old, a young boy, and that boy has a transgender wife. Yes, no, not wife, male, a transgender gay partner. And so he texted, because they were reading the text, and he texted his roommate that morning, and he was like, I want to end Charlie Kirk's today. And his roommate is his wife, his male wife, is asked him, how are you going to do it? Are you sure? Why do you want to do this? And so he was like, I'm tired of how he speaks to me, I'm tired of how he talks to people, I'm just so tired of it, I want to just end it, and I am also tired of life. And so that boy took his father's rifle, ended the life of Charlie Kirk. Now he got away with the pleasures of life. Trust me, because that guy is too young and I feel too talented to want to do that kind of thing. Now, the pleasures of life that struck him was all those gay partner thing, transgender thing. It's so crazy in the Western world what goes on with them, because us Nigeria, we are so privileged to have our African parents. Trust me, we are so privileged. Me, I am so privileged to have African parents. Okay, so he got away with the pleasures of life. To think that ending someone's life would be the best, just being a part of having someone to be your gay partner would be the best for him. He had a vehicle of his life, and so he rode it, and where he rode it to has led him into whatever mess he's in now. Now, I'm going to say this also as an authorist. All right, it is important that you maximize your time clearly. I mean, beautifully well. You maximize the time you have. We have limited time. I like to always tell myself I have limited time. Whatever I want to do, I have limited time to do it. And I would encourage you to watch this movie. It's In Time. I don't know if we have watched it. INTIME. In Time is a very wonderful movie that would shape you on thinking of how time is not at your expense. All right, in that movie you get to see when they have time on their hand, everything they want to buy, their house. Imagine you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to buy water with the time on your hand, and those that time is your life. I mean, it's crazy. Well, then that's how it is in that movie, and so I recommend it to you. All right. um Today we had a very wonderful time. I'm closing now. I'm going to say a few things to you. Is you must see, I'm going to recap, okay? You must see where you are going. Dreams do not run on wishes. You must be the kind of person who can handle your vision. No one arrives alone. Even Jesus Christ had disciples and mentors. John the Baptist was a mentor to Jesus. It will shock you, but he was. Now, just as you service a car, you must service your dream. Refill your fuel, your faith, align your wheels, check your tires, and keep driving. Some of you need to build vision this month. You need your to fuel your discipline. You need to fix your relationship and surround yourself with the right community. Do not let your spark die because you refuse to build the vehicle that will lead you to your destination. Please, I encourage you to challenge yourself this month to do something beautiful with your vehicle and ask the authorist of your life. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I think I'll take questions. Thank you. Over to you, Praise Brain. Thank you so much.
Wow. I thought I've seen more reactions. All right. Thank you so much, Lady Vida. I believe we all learned something, not just learned something. We were inspired, right? So before I give a conclusion, so I just want to also ask our questions, right? So I believe some of you have questions. Some of you are just joining now, so you might have questions as well. So I want you guys to ask your questions. If you have any question, you can just raise up your hand and ask your question. All right. I'll wait for whoever have a question. So I think the most important thing I took from what Vida was saying was following your dream. Yes, was following your dream. I think that is something many of us really neglect. Yeah, you had a vision, you feel that spark at first that makes you start up the journey, but at the end of the day, you lose motivation, you lose your spark, you lose the fire because you stop following it, right? And so in following your vision of following your ideas, she said, be in the right community. I think that is the most important one. Be in the community of like-minded people. You understand? Yeah. Be in the community of like-minded people. Somebody that said you cannot walk alone. Whatever you're doing, somebody has done it before, right? And most importantly, be willing to make any price to be in those communities. I think in 2022, 2023, I used to buy courses, like online courses a lot. And people will be like, why are you buying all this course? You just carry 50,000 and go and buy a course, carry certain amount of money and buy course. Why are you buying this course? Most of the time, it's not really because I want to use them. You get? And sometimes those courses are things I have before. But the reason why I'm getting those courses is because I want to be a part of the community, right? I want to connect with people. I want to have a relationship with the course creator. Because most times these guys are big influencers online. They are mentors who I admire. And so spending my money on getting access to their community should not be a problem for me. Are you getting it now? So whatever you are doing, whatever ideas you have, whatever vision you have, surround yourself with people of like minds, no matter how much it costs you. Right? Jim Rohn said something. He said, there should be no how that is difficult for you to undertake. There should be no how. Like, even if it's a very tiny road and there are turns everywhere, right? As long as it's going to take you to your destination, you should be able to undertake that. Are you getting it now? So one thing that many of us really like very well is not is or the willingness not to make sacrifice to be in part of communities. Are you getting it now? So David, you have a question, so you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I do. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, man. Okay, I'm directing these questions to Lady Vida. It's actually two based on the vision, that is the map and the compass and the engine, the mindset. First of all, Ma, how do one first get clarity on their vision, and what particular step can help that person get it when others don't actually see it the way you do? And on the mindset, along your journey, what shift in mindset have made a difference for you? Like, how do you obtain this growing or growth mindsets? Nabio.
All right, over to you, David.
I'm so sorry. I did not get your question. Sorry. Apologies for that. Yes.
Okay. All right, I would come again. I asked two questions on vision and on the mindset. First, how do one get clarity of their vision, and what practical steps can help one guard it even when others don't see the way you do or the way I do? And on the mindset, along your journey, what shift in mindset made the biggest difference for you? And how can one maintain this growing or growth mindsets? Nabio.
Okay, so I think I'm going to take the question one after the other. Thank you so much, Ogi, for David for asking. So you said, first of all, please, you're going to unmute your mic and talk with me. Um, you said that how can you get clarity, right?
Yes, I did.
I mean, when it comes to purpose. So I believe that to gain clarity, let me answer that first. Is what I'll say to you is that clarity doesn't come at once. I remember then when I was trying to discover purpose, I was like, oh, what am I going to be? What am I going to become? Are you a Christian, if I'm to ask you?
I am.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So I remember when my pastor told me something. He said that the journey of discovering purpose or gaining clarity doesn't come at once. It doesn't come in one night. It's just like when you plant a seed, you do not get a tree out of a seed in one night. All right. So it takes days of nurturing, it takes years of nurturing before you get the exact seed you want. So for clarity, I'd say that take your fellowship with God seriously as you begin to get inspirations, as you begin to understand what your passion is, what your drive is. You write it down. Please take notes of it. You write it down. From there, when you begin to build on it over time, you get clear pictures of what you want to be or what purpose is going to be like for you. Did I answer that part of the question?
You did. You
Beautiful,
did.
thank you very much. So you asked how can you guard this, right?
Yes, I did.
Beautiful. So now the way you can guard it, I'm speaking to everyone, not just to David, all right? So the way you can guard it, what I did for mine was I had to be intentional about it. If I'm walking towards this dream, your purpose is like the vision you have right in front of you. I had to be very intentional about it. I had to be committed to it. Intentionality, commitment. I had to be focused on it, and I had to learn. Now, I'm not saying I had to be disciplined because I did not even have discipline at that time. I had to learn to stay disciplined on it. I had to also learn to stay on my lane. Staying on your lane, I did not want to compare myself with other people. I did not want to look. If you're doing something, oh, I celebrate you. If we are the same age or you're younger than me and you have bountiful achievements, I celebrate you. But me, I am going to walk at my pace and guard my own thing that I have with commitment, with discipline, with focus, with what was the first one I said? I think, oh God, it has left me. But then that is what you can use to guard it. All right. Did I answer the second question?
You did. You did.
Thank you so much. All right. So you said what gave me a shift in mindset. Hmm. I think what gave me a shift in mindset is I had to answer 5 questions. All right. I had to answer 5 questions. And those 5 questions, I'm going to say it right now. They are the questions that every single person have answered in life. So that is who I am. I had to answer who I am. I had to answer where am I from. I had to answer why am I here. I mean, why am I on the journey to fulfill purpose? I had to answer what can I do better to make impact? And I had to answer where am I going to in the next 20, 30, 40 years from now? Who am I? Where am I from? Where am I from is my identity. Why am I here? What can I do? And where am I going to? So when I could answer those questions, it made my mindset totally shift. It brought a transformational shift for me and where I was going. So did that answer the question?
Yes. Yes,
Beautiful.
it did.
Thank you so much. All right. So, and the last one you said is growth mindset. Okay. How can you have a growth mindset?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
So there is really no one way to have a growth mindset. I think it's not far from some of the things I said. The kind of people, your community you have around you would energize your growth mindset. The structure you put around you would energize your growth mindset. All right. So I have a slide on that. I have a slide on that. Let's see. I could send it to you afterwards, after this call. You could just reach out to me on WhatsApp. All right. So
I will. Thank you very
you
much, ma'am.
thank you very much.
All right. So I think that was crystal clear. Yeah, that was very crystal clear. Self-discovery is not something that happens overnight. So it is like you said, is self-discovery. So as you journey, you need to discover more about yourself, right? And most importantly, there's always a spark. You understand that there's always this, there must be a spark that will make you begin the journey to self-discovery. The spark might just be thinking, what's my purpose, what my purpose is, and all of that. That can just be the spark. Are you getting it now? So I think that was answered. So is there any other question here? Is there any other question? If I ask my question, all right. Let's try and take one more question. Let's try and take one more question. Okay. So nobody has this question. All right. This is my question. Um, you said being in other people's lane or taking the same vehicle people are taking will not take you to a destination, which is true. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll come back to your question, Chinazo. So being in other or taking other people's vehicles will not take you to the destination, right? Now, how about people like us who might have ignorantly taken a wrong vehicle towards a certain destination that we know that vehicle is not going to lead us there? Are you getting it now? How can we now retrace ourselves back? What are the process for us to retrace ourselves back to where we are and then be able to catch up in time to our destination? So that's my question.
All right, thank you so much, Praise Brain, for that beautiful question. Okay, so let's go back to our vehicle that we use. Now you're driving and you get to a particular point. Let's say, for example, you knew what you wanted to do at first, then all of a sudden things came up and you tried to curve into other people's, take other curves. Now, when you get on other curves, you can navigate back. How do you navigate back? Let's say, for example, you have Google Map. That's an initiative, an innovative way to navigate back. Now, why? Now, sorry, I got interrupted again. Now, Google Map is a way to get back to where you lost yourself from. Okay, but now we're not going to use Google Map. We're going to use something called introspection. I think when I was having a class with my students, I spoke about this. The first way to heal from problem or to get solution to a problem is to understand why or how that problem came about. All right, so now you got to a point where you still driving, you're like, oh god, I am lost. Oh god, I am lost. You don't beat yourself. You can't stay there and say, why did I do this, why did I do this, why did I do that, why did I take this turn, why did I get on. Regret is never going to take you anywhere. So the best thing to do is, what can I do from this point? What can I do going forward? What can I do to get myself back? That is where you begin to think, okay, there is Google Map. There is Google Map. Okay, let me get on my Google Map too. And then when you get on your Google Map, you tend to follow, you trust Google Map. Now your Google Map for your life is God. Your Google Map for your life is God, because I know very well that God is the one person, I mean, the Holy Spirit is one person that can redirect you back from where you lost yourself. And you're like, oh, Holy Spirit, please help me back. I want to get back on my feet. I want to get back to where I'm going. Now, the reason why thank you so much, the Bible is your manual. The reason why you can trust Google Map is because you know Google Map knows where you need to get back to. You would always trust Google Map, because at that point, your easiest way of escape is your trust point, is where you are going to dwell your trust on. And then your easiest way of escape is God Himself. So you're like, okay, it's going to take a few time, some time. You're like, oh, don't be in a hurry to say, God, why you not answer me? Why you not answer me? Now Google Map will respond to you immediately. The God I serve, He responds to us. Okay, the reason why you don't let me not go there. Let me not go into Bible teachings. I apologize, but then what I'm saying this is for you to understand that when you are in a problem, it applies to everyone. When you are in a problem, you do not dwell on why am I in that problem? Why did I do this? All the whys that got you there. What you do is you look for what you can do to get out of that situation. Right. So I don't know, did that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, you did.
Anything
You did.
before?
Thank you very much.
You're
So I
welcome.
believe we all got that.
Someone raised his hand, or Gifu, his hand is raised.
Right.
Yes, okay, I actually have one last question I want to ask.
Oh God, okay, it's no problem. Well, I think I'm likely going to run out of. I'm going to run off before 9:30. But then let me get your question.
Okay, it's concerning the landmarks. Like, what are the key landmarks we need to look out for to ensure that we're actually driving on the right track, on the right path, or in the right path? The key landmark I have to look out for.
Okay. Okay, so landmarks, we're talking about landmarks. I think for me, what I did was to pinpoint times where I learned specific characters. I needed to pinpoint okay, I gave it a beautiful example, and I said that if you are graduate with a first class and then someone comes to you, the 100 level student comes to you and is like, oh, ma'am, how did you get first class? I want to know the process. Now, what are you going to say to the person? Your landmarks are those steps you can teach the person to get that same result. Now, if you go first class, you know that the steps would not be far from, oh, I went for, if you did not go for Awokos, but what I did was I was reading before the semester started. I made sure I attended classes. I made sure I got good CAs. I made sure to read and not do exam or practice. So many steps. Now, excuse me. Now, all of those steps are your landmark. On the journey of life, there'll be times where you learn patience. There'll be times where you would have breakdowns. You're like, oh, you want to give up. Put it down. Because when you want to teach people, people want to hear your story. And what they want to hear from your story is not only you have arrived. They want to hear how you got there step by step. If I came over procrastination, of course, there is a part where you pray, but don't tell me prayers just stopped it as soon as I prayed, procrastination stopped. It is something that happens to every young person. So you would tell me, okay, what I did was I started to do things I did not feel like doing. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll set alarms, I'll do this and that, XYZ. So those are things to landmarks to take note of. I believe that I have explained what landmark is to you, sir. Do you understand what landmark is now?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I do.
beautiful. So just pinpoint times in your life. It could be memories. I think I can have landmarks of when I was 7 years old, when I was 15 years old, things that were happening on my journey. So the earlier you know all of these informations, the better for you.
All right. So I
Thank you
believe
so
we
much.
got that. So there's this last question before you go, Vida,
Oh
in the
God,
chat.
9:25. All right, no problem.
I'm sorry, man. It says, how do you overcome perfectionist syndrome and fear of failure?
Hmm. Okay. How you overcome perfectionist syndrome. Who asked this question? I need you to. It's going to take quite some time. Well, let me say a few things. I think you can reach out to me. Then we talk perfectly about it. Now, you only fear failure because you believe you are a failure, right? So I can't fail if I don't believe I will fail it. And I can't fail if I don't believe I'm a failure. First of all, you have settled in your mind that, oh God, I'm a failure at this thing. That is why you become scared when you go out there to present what you have. You're not even confident. Your confidence level is so reduced. Confidence level is also a factor that affects why you think you are a failure. Then I'm going to go to perfectionist syndrome. Hmm. Why do you think you? Because most times when we want to handle or answer questions like this, we need to know your mind. You need to know what you were thinking. What got you to think you are perfect? All right, what got you to feel like, oh, because you're not perfect. Even if you can get better what you do, I think the Bible says we're never perfect, right? Because we are humans. But I believe that I can be better at what I do. So I'm going to tell you now, advice for you is shift your mind from thinking the perfectionist way, because you're thinking the perfectionist, to have that perfectionist syndrome. All right. So shift your mind from that stage to putting your mind on, oh, I'm not perfect, but I can be better at what I do. I can be way better than my peers at what I do. All right. So I think that answers your questions to an extent.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Yeah.
Please, who asked the question? Are you sure it answered you to an extent?
Chinazo, are you clear?
We are going to talk further, but for now, that okay. I think she's not here.
She's actually here. Okay.
Okay.
I think I'll reach out.
Era, beautiful. Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you
Hmm.
so much, Lady Vida. Thank you for your time. Let's don't keep you here again. Please,
Right.
let's just give a shout out to her.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much, everyone who joined.
give a
Thank you.
shout out
Thank
to her. I
thank
think
you,
she was
Dave.
since she has been talking about a student, a student. I don't know if she has a community of students. So probably if those of you that are interested in it, I don't know whether it's paid or free, but you guys can reach out to her on WhatsApp, right? I'll tag a number on the group chat and you can do it to reach out to her and also ask your questions as well. So with this
Thank
we'll
you.
call it a
Goodbye,
day for
everyone. Thank you
today.
so much. Thank you.
All right. So do have a great night, everybody. And do it to check out the recordings on YouTube. Yeah.